Good morning, 315ers. I'm Eric, owner of 315 Survival, located in Safeway Plaza. Wanted to go over a knot with you. There's a lot of knots that we use in our courses and in our climbing. One of the most important knots that we use would probably be the boline, which is just to anchor the end of a rope. So usually when we do like a top rope, if we're using natural anchors, like trees, we'll do a boline around two different trees, and then we'll have the center of the rope hanging over the cliff edge, and we'll do a double figure eight or a double figure eight in that, usually a double loop figure eight. But at any rate, it's a very important and very useful knot. There's a couple ways to tie it. I'm a big proponent of the old school way to do it because that's how I learned when I was a kid, which is, the rabbit, or it's the Boy Scout method. They teach you a little riddle or rhyme or something about a rabbit. So first thing to do is you create a loop. So that's just, where the running end crosses the standing end from the backside towards you. And then you're going to take the tail, the running end, the rabbit's going to go up through the hole that we created, which is the loop, and then it's going to go around the back side of the tree. So as you're looking at it, it's your side of the tree. And then it's going to go back down the hole. And then you're going to pull the tail and this part of the loop along with this running or standing end right here. So you're going to pull those two together and you're going to end up with a fixed loop in the rope. And then we're always going to use an overhand safety because we usually use this with a human load, and it can slip a little bit. It doesn't slip much, but we always back it up with an overhand safety. So that is the boline, and then I'm also going to teach another way to do it, and then I might try and turn it around so that you can see it from your perspective on how you're actually going to tie it. So this method I don't like as much. This is the way that the Army teaches it. They call this the Arby's hat method. The reason I don't like this is because you're doing the majority of the tying with the standing end, not with the running end. So we're going to grab a bite. We're going to let it hang like that, let it flop, and then we're going to come down to the standing end, and with our palms away from us, we're going to turn like we're turning a car key. That's going to form a loop right there. See where that crosses? It's going to be formed a loop. Then we're going to reach through that loop, and we're going to grab that standing end again and bring it back up through that loop to form what they call the Arby's hat, okay? So it kind of looks like a cowboy hat. And then we're finally going to take our actual running end, and we're going to go through that Arby's hat. And then we're going to bring that running end back, and then the same thing as before, we're going to grab these two pieces of rope, so the running end and that part of the loop that we just created, and then we're going to grab the standing end and pull, and that will dress down our boline. And the inspectable aspect of the boline is you want the tail to be on the inside of the loop, which it is. And then you'll do, like I said, an overhand safety. And when you do your overhand safety, you want to get it right up against whatever knot you tied. So if it's a boline, right up against the boline. If it's a square knot, right up against the square knot. And that's it. And then I did say that I would try to do it the other direction so that you can see it from the tier's perspective instead of an onlooker, because I think that makes a difference. So give me 1 second here. So, Arby's hat method. Like I said, we're going to let that flop just like that. And then we're going to turn the key away from us, just like we're turning on an ignition. And then we're going to reach down through that loop that we created. And we're going to pull up a bite, which forms our Arby's hat. And then we're going to take the running end and go through that Arby's hat. And then back to itself, to that loop. We're going to hold these two pieces together, and then we're going to pull the standing end. And then all we've got left to do is just put that overhand safety in. And then we'll do the other method as well. From your perspective, what's going on with the lighting? It's getting a little dimmer and darker. Okay, so I'm going to first create a loop. So I'm going to take everything on this one with the rabbit method is done with the running end. Nothing's tied with the standing end. So I'm going to let it flop with the running end to the left, and then I'm going to bring it back up around and have it cross the standing end on my side of it to create a loop, right? And then the rabbit's going to come up through that hole that we just created. It's going to go around the back side of the tree, so back side meaning away from you, and then back down the tree, and then once again you're going to pull these two pieces together and hold the standing end. I made that loop really small. I needed enough for my tail, so I could tie my overhand. Okay. And then the only difference between this and how you would actually do it is that you're going to do this typically around something, around an anchor. So when we test in the military and the mountain warfare course that I was in charge of, we usually do it around a rope like this. But in real life, it's going to be usually a tree, so it'll be vertical. And that usually messes with people. Don't let it mess with you. It's the same exact process, whether you're doing it around something that's horizontal, whether you're doing it around something that's vertical, whether you're doing it around something, or just doing it in the air, I should say. So it's the same process. Alrighty, that's the boline.